Good morning and welcome to the Native News Today. Gerald Wofford with Jason Salzman. As always, we appreciate you joining us this morning. And we've been trekking all over, covering those good Native American news and news stories, and seems like it has led us to Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. We were in Muskogee this week, and we got some great news stories to bring you from that part of the state. There in Green Country, the heart of Green Country, really. And we're at the Danna Tiger Art Gallery, the Tiger Gallery, really. Second generation art superstar. And she will be talking to her, and we'll also be talking to her sister, Lisa Tiger, who is a great story of perseverance and just a wonderful human interest story of taking something bad and turning it into an unbelievable positive. So be talking to the Tiger sisters, and those ladies are something special. And also, we got a chance to kickbox a little bit, Gerald.
We visited with Francine Morris, Creek's Seminole lady, former stunt woman in Hollywood. Family lives here in Muskogee. Now she's wanting to pursue the route of professional kickboxing. And she's done some fighting in the ring. She is really good. And we're going to share that news story with you here in just a little bit.
All right. And all that and more coming up. And we're going to be bringing that to you. And we're right here on the Native News Today every Saturday at 11 a.m. And this one's no different. So pull up a chair. Get ready for great Native American stories coming your way. Just like always, here on the Native News Today. We'll be right back.
Here at the College of the Muskogee Nation, we pride ourselves on emphasizing Native culture, values, language, and self-determination while providing a positive learning environment for tribal and non-tribal students. We encourage our students to be lifelong learners and to strive for personal growth, professional advancement, and intellectual advancement. Muskogee Nation College. Academic achievement, Native values.
And welcome back to the Native News Today. Gerald Wofford with Jason Salzman. We ventured over into Muskogee, Oklahoma, the Okie from Muskogee over there. And they have a very special treasure over there, the Tiger Gallery. And it's led in none other than by the artist Danna Tiger.
Yeah, a great artist, and like her father before her, Jerome Tiger, a lot of people know about him, and her brother, Chris, and a lot of tragedy in that family, but also a lot of great perseverance and a lot of great stories that have come out of there, and they're just an unbelievable story to tell, and here they are, the Tiger family at the Tiger Gallery in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
You know, it's always good to venture over into Muskogee, Oklahoma, and to visit with very dear friends. And that's what we're doing here this morning. We are here at the Tiger Art Gallery in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I'm talking with Danna Tiger. Danna, thank you for allowing us to come in this morning. We appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you came. Nice to see you here.
Well, tell us about the unique history of the Tiger Art Gallery.
Well, our family is... you may or may not know, has been in the arts since I was born. My father was Jerome Tiger, and he created the style of Indian art that so many have come to know as the Tiger style, the pastel color usage and the beautiful flowing movement. And it wasn't done like that in Indian art before, so that's why he's famous for that. And he died at a very young age in 1967. And me and my sister and my brother grew up knowing him through his art and becoming artists ourselves as children.
Now, you mentioned your sister Lisa, and we're going to talk with her in just a little bit, but you said your brother, too. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Chris was born in 1967, and he was 2 weeks old when my father passed away. And he grew up just talented, beautiful young man all his life, and everybody really loved Chris because he had charisma like Daddy, and he was very good person, good athlete, and very talented artist. And he would win awards, and he went to college, and he played football, and he did everything. And then in 1990, Chris was murdered here in Muskogee, and that changed all of our lives. That was and will always be the worst thing that happened, you know, losing our brother Chris. And here at the gallery, I just feel it's, you know, my responsibility and my love to carry on and have the art here and for people to come and see what was created by my father and my brother, as well as my other family members.
Yes, you and Lisa have certainly carried on a legacy here, and you see it all throughout this museum. I mean, not only is it just a beautiful symbol of Native American art, but it's just the work of the Tiger family too, right?
Yeah, it is. This has been like the family business, the family home even. We were always here together. We had an t-shirt art business. My mom created that t-shirt business back when nobody was doing Indian art on t-shirts. She knew that my uncle Johnny Tiger Jr., he's a great artist and an award winner, very famous artist, and he's my dad's older brother. And back in maybe the late 70s, early 80s, he would do art on t-shirts by hand. And my mom saw that as a good idea and started creating hand silkscreen T-shirts. And so we were like JCPenney top minority business award winners, you know, selling more to them than anybody for the year. And we did real successful business there. And Lisa would frame and mat artwork here, and also silkscreen and dry the shirts, or the boys would silkscreen and she would dry the shirts. It was just an operation where we all just stayed here together, and you know, I painted here, and we'd argue here, and we'd be mean to each other here, and we'd be nice to, you know, the whole thing, you know, it was all happening right here at the Tiger Gallery. And so things just changed, you know, when we lost Chris, you know, and things just went different after that. And then 2 years after that, you know, my sister tested HIV positive, but it seems like the art has just, to me, just holds things together. It's like a glue, you know, and I think of that as just the way it's always been with our, you know, in the past, the Creek people. The art, you know, it'll last and be a good thing, whether it's telling a sad story or a good story, you know, a positive story.
You're talking about your artwork specifically, and we see so much of it around here. Describe your style of artwork? How would you describe it?
Well, when I was a little girl, I was a wild and crazy little adventurous, happy, maniac child, and everybody that knew me knew it. But over the years, it seems like you get stifled and you're not able to be who you are supposed to be or were meant to be. So people would tell me, you know, girls don't act like that. Girls don't, you know, do all these different things that I was doing because I was real tough and strong and would, you know, they were telling me the other day that Daddy used to put the boxing gloves on me when I was a little girl, and she'd make me box all these older boys that ended up being Golden Gloves champions, and I'd beat them all. I was thinking, all right, I don't remember that. Must have been a little tiny kid, but you know, out there beating up all the future boxers of America. But I like that. That's good. Good to be a strong girl. But it leads into why I paint the way I do. I paint women, strong women, and I do that, as I realize now, as a survival and a way to get by and to express myself as a woman in this world. Because in society, people view women, there's always negative connotations for describing women. You know, you have all these bad, negative words that people say about women. And it hurts when you hear those things as you're growing up. And so being able to sit at my art table and express the strength and the courage and the things that I've always felt were within women has helped me survive and be able to get along and do my work in this world without having to go by what other people say that I was supposed to be, because it didn't match up. It was different. So my art portrays that strength, and I get by and make my living that way, and you know, do real good that way.
Well, for our watchers out there that are interested in coming to the Tiger Art Gallery, they've never been here or seen it, tell us a little bit about you know, when it's open, where it's at, and everything.
Well, we're lucky. We're getting people really interested, and I'm like gathering a tribal group over here that take care of the gallery. And so we're open just about every day, and sometimes on Sundays. We're open like Monday through Saturday, and you know, when we're here on Sundays doing programs, because the programs we do with the Indian Youth and Culture Project that I'm doing, you know, it's ongoing, and so you never know when we're going to be cooking sofky or making stickball sticks, or you know, doing different things like that.
Making kanachi.
Oh, kanachi, that we got to do that in Tahlequah.
Oh.
Well, I guess we could do it here, but I've got my Tahlequah Cherokee Art Center, and then this one in Muskogee. But we'll do it all because I got to eat some Canucci. I've never had any before.
Now, you mentioned a place in Tahlequah. Tell us just a little bit about that.
Well, I got a grant from the Cherokee Nation to build an art center on some land. We have 40 acres up Horseshoe Bend Road, and then Legacy, the nonprofit that I established several years ago to honor the memory of my father and my brother. We got this grant to build this center, and my husband built a sawmill, and he's building it from the ground up along with community members. And it'll be bought and paid for, nothing owed on it when it's completed later on this year, and that's where we'll do our programs out in the woods, because it's out in the woods near Tahlequah, and we'll have the youth out there doing natural environmental programs, learning about the plants and the foods and the basket making and the all the things that are Cherokee and the language. We're really serious about learning the Muskogee and Cherokee languages. And so that's part of every program we do. My cousin, John Scott Jr., was staying here at the gallery, and he was my language instructor because he's fluent Creek speaker. And he cracked me up. He said, because I'd introduce him, I'd say, "This is my cousin. He speaks fluent Creek. Go ahead, talk to him. Go talk to him in Creek." He said, and then he says, "This is my cousin Danna. She speaks fluent English. Go talk to her. Go talk to her." Oh, it's so funny. But anyway, I'm real proud of him for knowing the language, because that's so important to knowing the basic of who we are, the basis of who we are.
Well, we're really proud of you, and we really appreciate your time this morning. And as you look around here, just a lot of beautiful artwork, and we just say a mado and a wado to you, and just all the best. So thank you.
You know, Gerald, talking to Danna there, it's a great story with her and unbelievable talent, but also her sister Lisa, a great story there too. And you were able to catch up with Lisa, an old friend, and she's just an amazing person.
Well, the word you said, perseverance, that describes this whole family. They continue on, and great things are coming with them, and they are just great role models for what Native American people can be. And so we had a chance to visit with Lisa Tiger. All right, we're talking with another dear friend here, Lisa Tiger. And Lisa, we appreciate your time this morning. You look great and everything.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, hey, all the time, you are a celebrity, okay? And a lot of people will ask how you're doing all the time, and they may read newspaper articles or just kind of hear your name from time to time. Let's just get it straight from you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been doing good for about a year now. It took me over a year to recover from the pregnancy that I went having my daughter, and that was 2004. I gave birth to her on March 12th, 2004. I almost died. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. My temperatures got as high as 105.6. They really didn't know what was wrong or how to fix it, and just gradually the temperatures went down, but it took me well over a year to recover from that pregnancy. And I mean, it was just so hard with shingles. I had every single thing that could go wrong. But she was just as healthy as could be, and I survived it. And now I feel fully recovered. I exercise every day. I have a Stairmaster now, so I just get on that Stairmaster and run 2 or 3 miles every day, and so I'm feeling great.
I hear you do some stomp dancing too, right, to work out?
Yeah. I got these stomp dance legs, even though I didn't shake much shells growing up. But somebody asked me one time, "You got stomp dance legs, shell shaking legs."
You mentioned your daughter. You just had. Tell us a little bit about her name and everything. I guess this is her right here, isn't it, down here?
Yes, it is. Oh.
Almost knocked you over.
Yeah. Her full name on her birth certificate is Cornelia Margaret Taladu Danna Tiger, which Cornelia is my husband's mom. Margaret is my mom. Taladu is actually a Cherokee word that means cricket. And Danna, my sister Danna, and my last name Tiger. So she's got a long name. I knew that I was only going to get to have one, and I've got to fit everybody in there. But cricket actually is a name that Diego came up with. He said he wanted to have a girl and he wanted to name her Cricket, and I said Cricket after my dad, and he said, "Your dad's name's Cricket?" And I said no, but he said that when he died that he would come back as a cricket. And so that name really meant a lot to me. And then when I looked into how do you say that in Creek, and it was Chalotka, I thought, Chalotka Tiger. But then Taladu just sounded, and my mom's Cherokee, enrolled with the Cherokee tribe, so I went with Taladu.
Now, I know you've been living in different areas and parts of the United States, but, you always come back here to Muskogee because this is home and the Tiger Art Gallery. Mm-hmm. What does this museum mean to you?
Well, it was home here for about 2, maybe 3 years. Me and my kids, I adopted 4 kids from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, or at least they've been with me for about 11 years now. And we were homeless, going from place to place for a while there before we got housed through the Creek Nation. And but before that, we were actually made this place our home. We threw mattresses down and just slept here, ate here. This is home for several years.
Now, you've made some posters here, and we're going to get a picture of one here in a minute of you, flexing the muscles, staying strong, with the condition of HIV and everything like that. Well, are you doing anything further about that? I mean, as far as the being a spokesperson for that?
Oh, definitely. Anytime anybody wants me to do AIDS education, all they have to do is call me. If they don't know where to get a hold of me, I have a website. It's www.lisatiger.com. Has my cell phone number on it, has my contact address and information. You just give me a call, and it's definitely it's a preventable disease. You don't have to be infected with this disease. It's still a deadly disease, no cure. And it's something that we definitely need to prevent our children from being infected. Unfortunately, these days, the younger kids are saying, "Mom, what's HIV?" After they hear me speak and I'm talking about HIV and AIDS, they don't even know what it is. And that's going to be scary, because that means that they're not going to know how to protect themselves against this preventable disease.
How have you dealt with this personally?
Well, the reason my pregnancy was so difficult for me was because I refused to take the AIDS medication from the time I was from the time I learned that I was infected, which was 1992, until I decided to go for a pregnancy. And I discussed the pregnancy with my AIDS doctor, and she thought it was a great way of getting me on the medication that they had been unable to get me to do. Because if I got pregnant, I'd have to go on medication to prevent my daughter or my child from getting infected. It would reduce it from a 15 to 30% chance to a less than 1% chance. And today they say that there's a 0% chance. If a woman knows she has HIV and takes the medication to reduce her viral load, then she is just not going to infect her baby with this disease anymore. So it's, education is key. But that was the reason I had no immune system going into that pregnancy. I had let it get to such a low that it was just barely enough to keep me going, much less support a growing baby.
You mentioned having contacted this disease in 1992. That's
88.
Or 88.
I found out in 92.
Okay, in 92. Well, in 88, that's almost 20 years ago. You're quite a survivor. I mean, at one point, you didn't even know at this year, 2006, if you might not even be around, but here you are, and you're really healthy.
Yeah, it's amazing how things work. I really didn't know how long I would be able to survive with this disease. Of course, I promised my mom that I would live as long as I possibly could, because I didn't want her to have to bury another child in this lifetime. So I planned on living past her, just so that she wouldn't have to suffer like that. But I didn't really realize, of course, you just never know. I mean, that's why it's so important when something devastating like this happens to you, don't give up. Just keep going, because you just don't know what kind of medical miracle might be around the corner. And you just got to get in there and keep going and giving it the best you can. Life is short, even if you live to be 100 and something. So you got to give every day the best that you can give.
Well, you're quite a testimony, and so someone that is just a good person. We really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, great job. We had certainly a wonderful time visiting with those young ladies there in Muskogee, Oklahoma. We're going to get to a break and we'll be right back with more of your great stories here on the Native News Today.
Today's world is far different than the one our ancestors knew. But though times have changed, we the Muskogee Creek people remain a strong people. Many of our traditions continue to thrive in today's modern world. For 1,000 years and more we have been here, and we will be here for 1,000 more. Times have changed, but so have we, and the Muskogee Creek people are a part of this time, this country, and this economy. Hey, we got a chance to visit with Francine Morris, as we mentioned, a stunt lady in Hollywood, done some movies such as Independence Day, Blade, Swordfish, TV shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Really tough lady, and now she's wanting to pursue the route of kickboxing, be a professional kickboxer and everything. So we want to share that story with you right now. Francine Morris. All right, Gerald Wofford reporting here, and I'm just glad I'm not that punching bag. Hey, I'm in the gym here with very dear friend Francine Morris. Francine, we appreciate your time this afternoon, and let's tell our watching audience a little bit about yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Francine, and I am a stunt woman and former kickboxer, but soon to be kickboxing again. That's what's on the schedule.
Well, I want to brag about you a little bit here because you made your mark in Hollywood too. You were out there for some time. You were a stunt woman out there in a few movies and everything. Tell us a little bit about some of the work you did out there.
Well, I doubled a lot of famous actresses: Halle Berry, Vanessa Williams, Angela Bassett. Just to name a few. Even Oprah Winfrey, they patted me up, of course. But done high falls, fire burns, been ratcheted through walls, crashing through windows, getting hit by cars, buses, you name it.
Francine, you had mentioned that there was a movie specifically, and for our watching audience that may recall you in one of the movies that you played in, the movie Blade. Yes. Tell us a little bit about that, and there was a specific thing that happened to you in that movie.
Yes, I doubled the lead actress, Nebuchadnezzar Rai, in there was a part when she fell off from the train platform, and basically it was just, we had to do a couple of takes, but ended up injuring my shoulder, and I live with that to this day, and I don't have pain in it or anything, but the range of motion is like, this is like a full here, but this one is 45-degree angle. So I wear my resume on my body.
Well, I wouldn't want to find out there because I'm sure that you could probably hurt me really bad, but now you're back in Oklahoma now, and of course your family is from here and everything, but now you're still training and you're wanting to do some things with your fighting and everything. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yes, well, before I was an amateur fighter, and I basically did it on my own, but now I'm looking for sponsors that are interested in sponsoring me to fight. I'd like to go professional and take it as far as I can. When I first began in martial arts and kickboxing, it really was a taboo kind of thing. No, not that many women were in it, but now it's like a fad and everybody wants to be in it. Everyone wants to do kickboxing, and there are a lot more women fighters out there. So I'm just curious to see how I line up with who's out there and see how old school does with the new school.
All right, talking with Francine Morris. And Francine, you said you want to get back into the fight game.
Yes.
Now tell us a little bit about your credentials. Why are you such a qualified fighter?
Well, I've been fighting for over 15 years. I was practicing all those years without the blows, without having to take the heavy pounding wear tear. So I think physically I'm in my prime, mentally I'm in my prime, and I just believe that that a lot of the women that are in it now is just for, I don't want to say for show. I don't want to say that yet. I just think that there's a difference. I think that, like I said, that old school is a little different from what's going on now. And I just want to see how I measure up. I want to know if what I'm thinking is true or not. And the only way to find out is to get in the ring and see last man standing.
So are we talking about like contending for world championship and things like that, titles?
Yes, wherever it takes me. wherever it takes me. Like I said, I'd like to go professional and overseas in China, everywhere. It's huge. You know, it's definitely a 360-degree turn from when I first started. You know, so that's very encouraging to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, now I want to get back in that mainstream and see where it takes me. And I believe I can go very far. I have no doubt I can go very far.
Now, I asked you this earlier, but I want you to say this on camera about working in Hollywood and the movies and doing the stunts and everything. And do you miss that?
Yes, I do. There's a lot of things I miss about it, other than the pay, of course, I miss. But the adrenaline factor, the just being able to test my skills and know, you know, my accuracy and my abilities and all my training. I feel like all those years of sports and fighting and all that just wasn't in vain, and that I have something to show for it. I mean, my children, their children's children, they'll be able to go down to Blockbuster when I'm long gone and will still be able to say, oh, there's mom, there's grandma, you know. So to me, leaving a legacy like that is important to me.
Well, obviously, with all that years of work, you've got your Screen Actors Guild card and everything. If a local production came up here in Oklahoma and everything, would you be open to doing something here?
Oh yes, most definitely. Actually, I've been talking with some people in California trying to bring some productions here, so that is in the works, and I'm hopefully can maybe incorporate it all with the kickboxing and the exposure and everything to get it to make it fruit take, to make it come to be. So that is a very big possibility.
Well, hey, we really appreciate your time. Gerald Wofford in the gym with Francine Morris.
All right, and a great job there, Gerald. Certainly got to, you know, visit with somebody like that. It's always pretty neat, you know, just to be able to pick their brain about certain things you might not ever be able to have a chance to know.
Well, really talented Creek Seminole lady there, and we wish her all the best of luck. And hey, those news stories are coming in. We appreciate you contacting us, and keep contacting us.
Oh yeah, that's how we do it. Our telephone number you can contact us at is 918-732-7637, or if you want to send us a fax, it's 918-758-0824. Or, of course, you can always reach us by email. Mine is jsalzman@muscogienation-nsn.gov, and his is gwofford@muscogienation-nsn.gov. Gerald, we got some good stuff coming up next week, too, along with what we've just seen here today.
That's right. We're going to be visiting with the diabetes program here at the Creek Nation. They've got a special walk program.
Muskogee Trails. It's a really cool thing Creek Nation's doing to kind of get people involved and get the proactivity going for diabetes awareness. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up next week. You just never know what you're going to see.
That's right. So, hey, in the meantime, just keep sharing those stories. For our producer, Josh Lane, Jason Salzman, I'm Gerald Wofford. We thank you for joining us. In the meantime, take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.